Hi everyone, the Mature Simmer here. I'm going to go ahead and work on this next scenario, Autumn along the Rhine. Hello driver, you are in the driver's cab of a Suvix Flirt 3 to take passengers from Koblenz HBF to Frankfurt, Maine HBF, departing at 8:16. There are multiple intermediate stops along the way before arriving at Frankfurt HBF at 9:55. Please let the passengers board here before you leave. Alright, so our signal turned green. If you watched the last episode about Koblenz, I did end up realizing some things because I was talking about where it appeared that I had seen things that signaling was broken. I happened to find something about German signaling, which was immensely helpful, and I will link that at the bottom of this video. So this, for example, tells us that the speed is 40 when we hit this location. So even though my train says 50, I think the moment I pass through that, I am going to, whoops, I forgot to turn on my 100%. I think that's going to drop to 40. There you go. And so when I thought I was being told to stop early, there's other things we need to look for on the German system. And so I'm thinking that the people who said there was a problem had the same issue I did, because there are indications ahead of time that things are changing. And I'll try to show those and catch those as I go to help you learn as well. So at this point, we're proceeding. We didn't have much time to take a look at any other route instructions, so I may do that at some point. So up here, where it says 14, that's telling us 140, which we can see on the map. It's the line speed, even though 40 wasn't there. So once our train goes past that, now this is an advanced signal. It's telling us it's clear, and that little white dot, if it's on, it tells us the next signal is at a shorter distance than normal. So here we go, 14, and we're going to pass that shortly, so there we go. Now we can speed up. So it's probably going to be a little more difficult for me to give some comments, but I know people talked about a bunch of signal problems on these long runs, and so I was a little bit worried about taking this on because of that, but I feel a lot more comfortable now that I understand what I'm looking for. So again, this is an advanced signal that's green. We see nothing else. Those are kilometer posts, so it's 92.4 kilometers are those two numbers, so this will be 92.6. Okay, so that's the signal in advanced signals. So we're green and nothing else. So we're having to read things pretty quickly. Now, if we see a yellow triangle, that is the warnings. When I rewatched my other video, I was able to see at least some of the points where I was having difficulty, where in fact the signaling was accurate. So, yeah, nothing unique there. Everything's green. So, you know, we're running the entire length of this line in this scenario. So this is 105 minutes, so strap in and be prepared for a long run here. But I'm feeling a lot more confident in that I feel like I truly understand the German signaling, which clearly I had not before, because the bridge problem where it tells me to go 40 was not a problem at all. It was properly signaled. So these are advanced signal warnings telling me there's an advanced signal coming up. There it is. So it's green. We're good. Not seeing anything else that's unique. So these are, again, just the distance markers. So the top number is the kilometers, and then the bottom number is hundreds of feet. So, you know, 95.8, 95, you know, so we're obviously going up in this direction. So again, this is a regular signal because it's straight. And so the problem is the HUD doesn't display anything except the line speed, is what I learned through the material that Purno put out. Again, here's some advanced signal warnings, so we know to keep an eye out. There it is. So when you know what you're doing, it makes things significantly easier, or at least, you know, less feeling like you have no idea. So I'm hoping in other locations I'm going to be able to find similar tutorials on signage, so that perhaps any other place I'm having difficulty with, I'll be able to handle that. So, again, I think that's the warning because of the crossing. I'm not quite sure why it does it quite then. It seems like a little bit late, like there's nothing I can do. Again, advanced signal warning, and there's the advanced signal. Sometimes the advanced signals will have a triangle that can illuminate underneath. That's going to be one of the more complicated things. So I'm going to need to keep an eye out for that, and it's only relevant if the leftmost dot that's leaning in this part of the diagonal is yellow, because that's giving us a caution that we then likely need to keep. So see that dot there, if it's yellow, could be a problem. So moving along here, going just past this platform. So, and I'll point out there's a few things at the stations too when we're stopping that are relevant. So this little white dot you can see was on. That means the next advanced signal is showing up pretty quickly. So there it is. It's still green, so these are all good things, nothing to worry about. We're a little bit behind in our movement, so I probably need to get myself going because I am running slow because I'm trying to be careful, but obviously that's causing me to slough some time off. So let me get a little closer to my speed there. That's probably as close as I want to get. Alright, 102, so we've got an advanced signal coming up again. It's green, we're all good. That's what we want to see. That's exciting. So hopefully I'll be in pretty good shape here. So I'm not running, okay. Closer signal than normal is what that little white dot is telling us. Probably because of the platform. Alright, and now another advanced signal warning is coming up. So we'll want to keep an eye. It's still green. We're 7 kilometers away. Got a bit of a tunnel here. Oh no, I guess it's just a bridge. It looked like a tunnel the way we were skirting around. The problem is I'm watching my speed and I'm worried I'm missing things. Alright, again, a nearby advanced signal. There it is, another close one. So we're going to have another signal that's pretty close. There it is. Alright, so now we need to be careful because now we need to be down to 110. So we'll keep an eye out. So there's an advanced signal. We want to make sure. Okay, so this yellow triangle, 11, that's telling us 110, which we know is there. Oops. So I don't need to slow down quite that much. So let me go quicker. But basically those yellow signals are in essence at a point where they're expecting you to start to slow down. And so it's normally then, I don't think it will be at the signal, is my understanding. It will be after it, but we're obviously already going at that point, so we'll see. Yeah, it didn't drop, but there it is at the 11 that we saw at the side. Again, if you didn't see it, you can always go back and look in the video. So again, advanced signal warnings. Here's our advanced signal. All green, all good. Green is good. Okay, so we've got a line speed indicator coming up, which means we're likely going to have some signage that's going to help us with that too. So we're going along, I think, the river there. Alright. Alright, so nothing here. But we'll just keep ourselves moving. I don't think I missed a sign, but I may have. Again, lots to look at, so looking down, looking up, but there's likely a yellow. So see the 10 there, illuminated? That's telling us that the next signal we need to be down to 100. So it means not when I see the line speed, that signal is going to trip me at 100. That's one of the things that I wasn't aware of that caught us at one point, potentially. And it wasn't exactly that, it was more the light, the advanced signal, and the number wasn't illuminated. When the number isn't illuminated, and it's yellow, so now we'll see. Here we hit the light, now we're down to 100 at the light, not here. So, see how that... So it is actually functioning right now correctly. You just need to understand the German signaling. So there's signs that are not displayed appropriately that we've been running into. Whoops, whoops, whoops. I gotta stop here. Whoops. I almost missed that. I was just too happy that I was doing things. I think I'll be okay, because again, we've got awesome brakes. Again, we broke, I guess. Alright, so somewhere here, we're gonna stop earlier. Somewhere there's an H symbol. If we see that at a stop, what that is the furthest that you should be when you stop your train. Let's take a look here. So we've got 14. So the next one's going to be at 8:45 from Oberwessel. This looks like Boppard. So yes, we're just literally picking up passengers, which is what I'd expect. Alright, so far we've only lost 1 point, which is excellent. Oh, I think I don't have my brakes off. Alright, so we'll see if we stay ahead. Right now we're way ahead, but I don't think that's going to last once we get past the end of the platform. So now we'll take a look, we'll see what we see here. So we don't see any kind of an H, maybe because the platform's so large. Alright, well at this point it is telling us we're really, really early. Okay, advanced signal warning, and there's a 12, but we're already at 120, so that's all good. It's green. And again, you can see no triangle underneath, so you're never going to have anything unique showing up there. But I'm going to try... Just have to be careful, because I don't know if I'm going to... Okay, I'm slowing down at least. Because if I go up, so again, the white light's on, the next signal's closer than typical, so it's right there, obviously you can see. And again, we do see that on the mini-map, so it's not like it's a surprise, but just so that we're understanding, and I just want to kind of make sure that you have this available to you as partially a German signaling lesson, so that you know, in real time as much as I can, and hopefully I won't blow things up. So there's the speed, 13. that we'll change to. And again, it's once your final axle goes past that. So there we go. So now we can speed up. So what I'm going to be curious about is, do we truly have any signaling errors, or are all the people that are posting that and telling Dovetail that they've got a problem just wrong because they don't understand German signaling? You know, and the point is, I'm assuming the guy who wrote this German signaling thing is accurate, and the only verification I have of it is clearly it's behaving as he's told me it would. So, greens, all good. Nothing to worry about in the advance. This is a beautiful line, I will say that. Just the little towns, you know, everything in between. Alright, let me... I always want to be at least a mile below, because in case it starts to speed up. Alright. So nothing specific. But yeah, in case we're going downhill, what I don't want is then that I am going to 131, because then I'm going to get a speeding penalty. So, advanced signal warning. I apologize if it's getting old, but just if people pop in at various points, I also want them to kind of see what's happening. So I'm trying to get to the point where I'm increasing speed a bit, just so I know like what that setting is. Alright, so now we see 100. It's going to go down to 100, and usually at that point, if it's giving it to us there, that's kind of where they're suggesting, hey, you might want to do something to slow down appropriately. Alright, so that should get us set. And again, the line speed is there, which is what the yellow triangles are indicators of. So it's really just giving us a little bit of a warning. There's the actual line speed. So there we go. Now we're at 100. Now we'll probably see nothing until we see the 11 for the 110, which is right there. So once our axle passes, we can then do that. That was interesting. But, alright. So, we are now advanced signal warning again. So I think at 20 we speed up a little bit. Looking for anything, just a regular signal. So we're still running 5 minutes ahead, which is excellent. I don't think anyone's going to complain, although with German precision, perhaps they may, and say we've gotten there too quickly. But I can't imagine the scenario would give us a penalty for that. So again, advanced signal above us, green. So everything is as we'd expect. Alright, we've got that pedestrian crossing there, hence the warning. Just going straight, staying on this track. Still over 10 kilometers to Oberwessel. Alright, we are speeding up a bit, so I'm going to go down. Alright, the white light is on. That means the next signal is closer, or sooner than would be expected. There it is. It's the main signal, and it's green. I'm assuming, alright. It's always so confusing when you're going around the turn, because I'm assuming he's not on my track. because that wouldn't be... Oh, yeah, I don't have my light on. I guess I should do that. Not that you have to. It is daytime, but I'm sure it's easier to see the train. So, nothing unique on the advanced signal there. Alright, and just watching the kilometer signs go by at this point. 124 kilometers. Okay, so 9. So we've got to slow down. And once, whoops, I slowed down way too much. Because again, the line speed indicator does not mean anything with the signal. The early signal point is on the advanced warning signals. So that's where we have to kind of keep an eye out for it. Alright, so 10% speeds us up a bit. 4% basically keeps us where we need to be. We have lost some time. There's the 9. 7 kilometers. So we're going to speed up a bit here. Please be careful, sir. There's a white line on the platform. You're supposed to be on the other side of it. Alright, green advanced warning, so nothing. Now is this a real tunnel? In fact, it is. I love tunnels. So, I'm excited. Not a very long one, but certainly a worthy tunnel. Alright. So yeah, so now that we're in the mountains, we're obviously just going 90. We lost about 10-15 more seconds. So we are getting closer, but we are within, 5 kilometers, so... or 6 kilometers. Just a close signal, but still green. So we are able to proceed at speed. Same thing. Not close, though, which is fine. So the signal's a normal distance away, whatever that would be. Another tunnel, now that we know what these look like. Obviously, you'd expect the engineers to kind of do the same thing with their tunnels. Looks like we're going to be able to accelerate, maybe to 100. A little ways up. Let's see, do we have a signal? We do. Close by. And obviously it's right here. So we are green again. I've lost another 13 seconds. I do need to be careful to keep my speed close, because obviously we are slowly sloughing off seconds. Which would make sense at the distance we're at. We're still a good way away, so... Alright, just kilometer markings. Early signal, close by. There's our 10 line speed. It's taking us up to 100. Once again, the final axle of the train passes. So we can accelerate. So we will do that pretty quickly. So we don't want to lose time here. And that should get us now accelerating slowly. That should hopefully keep us there. Alright, advanced signal warning. Green. Again, just a really nice little mountain run. I like these. That's a lot of the routes I have, or American ones in the mountains. But those are obviously going to be diesels, so they'll be a little bit louder, certainly. So just keeping an eye. Ooh, nice little castle-like structure. Alright, 1.5 kilometers, so I do need to be careful. 14, so if we were continuing, we could go to 140, but we're not, so we're not going to worry about speeding up, because that wouldn't make a lot of sense at this point. Green. Alright, so I think at about a half we'll worry about things and engaging. Okay. So I think we're at full service here. So I'll back off a bit, because we're definitely starting well. They've got this platform kind of overgrown. They might want to do something about that. Alright. We're here at Oberwessel. Many minutes early. Now, do we wait here longer? No, we do not. So there should be a quick stop, but it's maybe slowing us down because of how early we got here. So yes, I don't know that we'll have any kind of penalty for an early arrival, but I could see I can certainly understand it holding us until we're closer to the actual time, because obviously the published schedule would indicate that 8:45 is our departure time, and so you definitely don't want unhappy passengers when a train is running 5 minutes early. I mean, the challenge is, of course, I would love to continue to have extra time and not have to worry about perhaps not making it. I'm also starting to see why the full line scenarios, maybe the other ones are significantly shorter, because they're avoiding obviously these parts of the line here where we're going 15 or 18 or 20 kilometers, whatever it is, between stations. Because if I go back, I think I can see, we're going to be nearly half an hour since we started the scenario already. And we've just made 2 stops. And obviously then it's going to pick up pretty quickly. So we were at Flughafen. I don't know that we did. Let's see, Mainz, I think we did. So there's other platforms that we're not seeing, like I forget, there was like some performance place or something, or maybe the Bischenhof, I don't know. Or we may just be skipping those. Because obviously I think, and we never got to read this, so we're driving the RE2 service, bringing passengers from Koblenz to Frankfurt. This is a full-length journey along the route with several stops along the way. Maybe I did read that. It does sound familiar, but maybe I had just read it to myself before we came in. Actually, I think it was in the Good Morning briefing that we had. But yes, clearly now we're at 8:44, and it's going to take us into 8:45, probably close to the end, before it releases us. Speaking of releasing us, let me get the brake released so that I don't have any delays when we take off, because obviously anything we've done has been removed. And not because we've done something poorly, but simply because they're trying to keep the train on time. So, sometime in the next minute, we should be released. Alright. Looks like the clock's pretty close. There we go. So yes, no additional timeliness. Not that I was expecting any. So the thing I do like with the German trains is, yes, you don't have the wheel slip problem that we had on some of the other lines. So we're able to go 140. We're going to continue to look at our signals for the next, I guess, hour at least. Because yes, I think an hour and 45, so probably an hour and 15, you'll get to hear me talk about German signaling, because I'm trying to drill it in my head too. So, advanced signal warning. Just want to make sure we don't see anything unique. I'm assuming this way it's going to keep things pretty simple, but I didn't recall the difficulty. I think it was just higher because it's longer, and so there's more opportunity for error, but I don't know. Whoops. Alright, I had my fingers on the wrong buttons, so that was a bit of a panic moment, I'm not gonna lie, because I was worried I was gonna blow by 140, but luckily we did not. But now I'm going too slow, and we don't have a lot of time to spare, so I'm gonna definitely get myself closer there. Alright, so there's the 12. Again, the yellow we always want to be aware of, but it's just the normal line speed warning there. Alright, there we go. So we're down to about where we need to be, 119. Put ourselves to 4%, signal a little closer. So there it is, very quickly, and there's our speed indicator 12. There's the change on our line speed dial. And we're doing pretty well. We're still about 20 seconds ahead. So exactly what we'd like to see. Speeding up a bit, just to, again, get ourselves a little closer to our speed. 1.72, so we do want to stop at that platform. So I do want to pay attention. So, not seeing any indicators of any other changes yet. Alright, so we're going to go ahead, get ourselves slowing down. So it looks like we're going to be around the turn before we have the station, is what I was thinking of. Alright, so I'm just letting ourselves coast in a little quicker there. So, Bacharach platform. Let this release. Alright. So, get ourselves in there. So, about 6 seconds early. Definitely not anything super fast. So we're definitely just on time. And that's going to be a little bit more of the challenge here, is as the stations get closer, we have less and less opportunity for error. So while I may want to be informative of the signals, I may just not be able to speak. If I start creating problems, I'm going to want to wait. So yes, I am taking off immediately when they allow me to. because as you can see, I've got very little extra time here. Alright, so we can go 130. We've got 3 kilometers, so these are much closer. Niederheimbach, I think, is where we're going next. Good news is we are building up, or we were building up, a little bit of extra time buffer. So I probably need to change my stopping pattern a bit. Okay, advanced signal. We just want to make sure we don't see anything unique. All green, all good. So nothing unique there. All right. We'll get ourselves to 10% so that we can stay up there. And then we're getting close already. 1.5 kilometers, so just as we're maxing out our speed, very shortly we're going to start slowing down. So there we go. We've got to get to 120, but since we're stopping at the state... Whoop! I didn't realize I had gone that far. Apologize. So we'll back off some, because once again I think we're slowing down too quick. Yeah, we're slowing down too quickly by far, because now we're sloughing off time. Alright, so yeah, I definitely need to get more familiar with how I do this. Because somewhere there it should tell me full service, but it's not appearing anymore. I don't quite know why. Alright, so now we'll let it stop. We're going to be a little bit later, I think, than we would like. No, actually we were early, so that's good. Yeah, but see, if I go here, graduated self-lap, there's full service. So it does say it. So at this point, if I have things right, we've lost either 3 or 4 points, because I'm not sure when it said -1 and then -2, if that was a total of 3 points. Make sure I've got my brake released. I do. Alright. So, 120. Main signal is green. We are now going to what? Bingen, HBF. 10 kilometers though, so we have got a ways to go, and we're only about a minute ahead. So we don't quite have the buffer we did before. We'll definitely need to keep our eye on signals to make sure there's nothing unexpected that we see. So, advanced signal warning, something's coming up. Everything is good. Alright. So, stayed right about where we were. I think we were at 8:59. Oh, 8:59:09. So we should be good. Once I get to 119, I'm going to drop it to 4%. Keep an eye out on anything we see. Okay, main signal is green. Maybe we won't get to 119. We might be just maintaining here, which is okay, although we've lost a couple seconds. But that's also, I think, because we're so far from the platform. Alright, so now we're down to up to 119. Whoops, now we're back down to 118. So very close. So yeah, I think, again, as the scenario name implies, I believe this just goes along the Rhine River. So definitely, you know, beautiful countryside here. My goodness, I keep like going too far when it goes to 119. I have to keep in mind that obviously it's taking a long time to even get to 119. I'm reacting immediately and obviously pressing far too aggressively. There we go. Whoops, no, it falls. It falls even if I go to 4%, so maybe I need to leave it on 10 for a bit longer after it goes to 119, so that maybe I have a shot of at least hanging on here. So, you know, again, there's stations we're just going by like that, and so maybe some of those others were just skipping that we had stopped at in the other scenario. Another crossing. Those are two very close together, but it's possible because you've got that church there. They've got an extra one that the church asked for people to be near the church when they're transitioning. Yeah, we're losing a few seconds here and there, but the problem is, I suppose we could leave it to 119. Oh, we can be at 130. That's the problem. I missed that. So let me fix that. Of course, now I'm doing it, and then we're going to be down to 120. But advanced signal, let's make sure we don't see anything unique here that will apply to that light. We don't. So nothing there unless we have another advanced signal that tells us something differently. But there's the 12 to show us we're going down to a line speed of 120 at some point. So we are released. Slow down a bit more. All right. Put ourselves at 4% so that we have some forward movement. 2 kilometers, our platform's visible. It's going to be a 10 up there, telling us the line speed is decreasing. But obviously, it's a little ways up. So we'll begin now. Alright, we should be good. There we go. So 100 and slightly falling. Put ourselves at 4%. Alright, so now we're going to be down to 9, but obviously we're also stopping. So we'll start that deceleration. I think we're okay here, because we want to be moving along. This is a pretty long platform, clearly. So we're going to let ourselves get on here. Whoops. I don't want to be accelerating. I want to be lowering the brake. Now, this is a much earlier stop than I probably would have liked, but at this point I think I'm just going to stop, come on the platform, and that way we can just take off and go in the future. Alright, so once again, we're probably going to get held here for a little longer, although we were only really about 30 seconds early, so perhaps it won't be quite as bad. So let's see. I don't think we're very far. Yeah, we're only on step 6 of 14, so lots of additional stops coming. This one's, again, a ways away. The other one was 7 minutes. This one's 8. Then we have 10. Then it looks like we start getting much closer as we're probably getting in the city, although we have another 11-minute run there, so. But yeah, we're under an hour in total, but we still got about an hour to go, so not unexpected in a 105-minute scenario. All right. So we can only go 90, so there may be some winding mountain passes again here. Just kind of what we had there last time. So you can see the 9 there at the end, just giving us another indicator. But just being a little careful, and then we get up to 160. But yeah, we're 12, basically 13 kilometers, so we are up there. Interesting. Did the kilometers change because maybe we had a line merge? Because yeah, now it's 0, 0, 2. Whoops, I'm too focused on that and not realizing what's happening. So took some damage for speeding. Shame on me. Alright, but then we'll be up to 160 shortly, so we'll be able to move along here and eat up those kilometers pretty quickly, unless we see something unexpected. But we're only 9 seconds ahead, according to our ETA calculator at this point, so definitely not a lot of room to spare. Alright, so we've got multiple tracks, there's a lot more little signals, advanced signal indicator for us, so keep an eye out for that. Green, so no cautions, which is always a good thing. So it seems maybe there isn't a train too near us on the line. But getting close here to our max speed, so we'll continue to accelerate, but back off a bit. Green signal. Advanced signal warning. Applying a little more power because we're obviously not accelerating. Alright, all is good. Got a line going off there somewhere. Maybe one of these days we'll get to go there. I don't know. We'll obviously find out when and if we can. Good news is we have gained some time. Alright, 4.8 kilometers since it started over again. Alright, an advanced signal coming up. Still able to proceed at speed. Okay, we're probably going to have a 15 coming up here soon. A little yellow triangle. There's the crossing. So it is still over a kilometer away, but we are also moving at 155. There it is. So there's our indicator. We're not going nearly as fast, so I'm less concerned about slowing down right now. Advanced signal indicator. Okay, at this point we are in a good spot. 149. So we'll try to maintain that. Now we're down to 148. Alright, so we're down to 150. Perhaps just around this sweeping turn. Then it gives us the opportunity to accelerate again. Everything is as clear as it can be. That was a bit of a bump. Yep, so now we're straightening out. There's the 16. We've got to again be past it. So now we can accelerate through the station here. very fast movement, but the line does seem... Alright, so the main signal, I was a little worried because I'm like, am I seeing another signal? But I was not. Alright, advanced signal warning. Okay, green, fully open. Fully at line speed. Okay, we're about a minute ahead. So we're going to likely get stuck again. So I think I can fully approach this at 1 kilometer and then worry about slowing down, because that's just kind of how this seems to work. Alright, so now we're at full service. Hopefully I haven't misjudged, because we are coming in really fast. I'm not liking this. I may have misjudged. Oh boy. Yep, I think I did. Yeah, this is not good. Now again, because we don't have cars that are fully off the platform, it might give it to us. But I guess we're gonna find out how this works. That was not pretty. Let's take a look. Yeah, not pretty at all. RE2, like it said, but yeah, we've got what? 2 cars, 2.5 on the platform. Not good. At least we've got extra time here in the station to let people wander to the back. Alright, so 1 kilometer at 160 miles an hour, or 160 kilometers an hour. Too close. And actually, I really didn't start applying the brake till like 0.8, so maybe it would have been okay, but I really needed to be ready. I kind of forgot how fast. Well, I didn't forget, it's not a speed you normally travel at, and trying to figure out what happens. So we'll see. If we get our full amount, we'll be at 495. So definitely would be nice. But yeah, this is holding us. So now we have the 10 minutes. So this will be another long run down the line. But at the speeds we're moving, let me turn this off. I want to absolutely be ready to move. Well, we did get our full timeliness bonus. I'm a bit embarrassed there. Alright, signal is close because the little white light is on. And there it is. Hold on. Oh no, there it is. I was seeing red. I'm like, what? I'm like, this is bad because there's no way I'm stopping now. Alright. So that one comes in. We're just going straight. So we're now going down to a 2-line right-of-way. And we'll be able, there's the 16, so we'll be up to 160 again. But yeah, we've got still about 17 kilometers, so this is definitely a long run again. But now we're kind of out of the mountains, kind of shaking around this turn a bit. You can see the train below us wiggling. I'm sure that would be the physics around the turn, because obviously the train wants to keep going, in essence, in a straight direction to some degree. And then the track is saying, nope, we're going to turn. So, alright, I'm just slowly backing off the throttle as we get close here. So again, I want to go along because we only have a 35-second buffer, but I want to avoid the penalties if I can. So everything pretty free and clear. Just kind of keeping an eye out if we hit 159. I'll probably again let it go a bit because it's not as if we're accelerating through these kilometers very quickly at this point. Nice green indicator. At this speed, that's always a good thing. I think we might actually be gaining a bit of time. We are. It was 43 seconds. Now it's 42. So this is good. Advanced signal. Right after we had another one, so I'll want to keep an eye on this. We're okay. I think that was because of the track switching in case, you know, obviously we need those signals if there's some switching exercises going on here. So I don't know if this is simply a siding to allow trains to park and pass, but again, our indicator and then a close signal, but once again, that's just because it's just past the siding. It didn't make that ding about crossing the track there. I'm surprised. Alright, so now we're at a minute up. Hoping I didn't miss some sort of signal, because it's strange that we're gaining that much time that quickly. But I don't think I have missed any sign or signal. Still all green and proceed at speed. Advanced signal. All clear. Under 9 kilometers, so we're getting about halfway between our run between the stations now. All clear. Next segment all clear. Alright, so this somehow 50% is just keeping us at speed. We have not bumped up, which is a little amazing to me. Alright, clear but a near signal. Also clear. Alright, so I guess there could have been another signal there. I don't know. It was on the HUD, but obviously maybe just an illuminated sign for a speed difference if we needed it. And I've got an all clear. Under 6 kilometers. Advanced sign. I was actually looking out the side, so I didn't see that signal clearly. Shame on me. Guess if I suddenly have a problem, I have no one to blame but me. Alright, so we're gonna decrease this here, because we need to be down to 100 in a bit. So we want to start decelerating, because we don't have to be stopped in 1 kilometer, but we need to be slower. So definitely want to do that appropriately. Alright, that should... Alright, everything is clear. Next signal is close. How did I... There must have been some indicator I missed. Shame on me. Got hit by a little speeding penalty. Because, yeah, it obviously changed at the light, so I think I missed something. There's a lot going on there, so I guess to be expected a bit, but doesn't make me any happier that it happened. So we're going to be at 80. I'm looking for kind of the signals that we would expect. But again, we only have to slow down 20. Alright, so here, no signal, and I'm wondering if that's what had existed before that I had missed. Because that illumination is not incredibly bright. So there is always that little bit of a challenge there. Alright, so that gets us there. We're at a mile. And I think Mainz was where we had started before. So I think this is where we had pulled out. I don't know if it looks this way both ways, but I do remember commenting about the insane amount of electrical overhead lines to allow the trains to function. Alright, so pulling in here. So we're again running about a minute early. Gonna let that move faster. Alright, that'll get us down to what we need. Alright, so we're at 8. So now we are more than halfway. Now we've got 4 minutes, then again 4 minutes. So 4 minutes, 4 minutes, 4 minutes, but then we have 11 minutes after that. So 3 quick stops, and then a bit of a gap after that. So, again, doing okay. I think I just, missed the one signal somewhere, so I need to remain vigilant, but this is a long run. I think I've had some that were like 80 minutes, and we're basically coming up on that. Pretty close, so I think we're not quite there yet, but still. So, yeah, we were just basically supposed to have arrived now. So that's why the time is taking as long as it is. Looks like we've got a vending machine on the platform, a lot of other bulletin boards or something like that. Let me get the brake released so that once again when we get the go-ahead, we're able to go. I think we only lost 4 points to speeding, because I think we were at 495 if I recall. So right now I think we are like 9 points lost for this scenario. Alright, a little white light indicating next signal is close. Alright, we can only go 60, so let me slow that down there. So I think we'll be at this speed for a bit here. Let me see, 20, even 15 is good. Whoops, just too fast. So if I keep it at 4, it's still speeding up. Next signal is close, but not a problem. No, now it tells me I can go to 80. I don't know that I saw anything with that, but we will take advantage of that a bit, because we are close. Again, we're only 8 seconds ahead. So I'm not sure if we're climbing a bit or how this is all. So this may be, we may be in the subway at this point, kind of at the underground. Just need to be careful. No, we're not. So, not a huge platform. Alright, so we're at full service now. Let this go. Alright, so see that H in the center? That's in theory. Well, we're not where we want to be yet, because we're not fully on the platform. Alright. Alright, so literally exactly on time. So this should go pretty quickly as far as the stop at the station here. So playing around a bit much there with that one. But basically I think we're just going to keep earning 147 every stop if everything works as it should. Or not 100, no, not 147. Now we're just... Did we ever earn 147? I don't know where I'm getting that number from. Because maybe it was 72 every time. But anyway. Alright, so I just need to be careful again. So there we can see the 7, which I think means when we go to the right. But gotta be down to 4. Because we're switching, so... And then we'll get to be up at 80. So yeah, I'm not sure that I'm seeing the full indicators properly. But I'm not sure if we're going to switch here too. Nope, there's the 8 speed. That will get us up to 80. Because we've got 5 kilometers to go, so we definitely are going to need to move along. Okay, that is not our signal, the yellow one. The green one here is ours. Here's the other side of the bridge that we had so much fun with. Let me not get distracted. Because in this case, I saw nothing that should indicate we are doing anything differently at the end of the bridge. So I am going to proceed based on that and move along here. Not sure that we'll hit 120 before we get to the 140, but we may. So I just need to be careful that I don't speed. Everything appears clear here. Yep, I would definitely be speeding if I don't back off, so let me do that. Alright, now we can go a little quicker. Trying to keep an eye out. There's just a lot more going on now that we're in a higher populated area. Alright, clear signal. No indication on the sign. Put ourselves at 20% power. Again, we're not going that far. We're what? About 10 seconds ahead. Now 11. Just need to... Alright, advanced signal warning. Make sure we don't see anything unique. Nothing. It's green and go. So we should be able to proceed at line speed. Once again, we're at 140, not 160 like we were before, so certainly no reason to be slowing down yet. Alright, there's the 12 at the bottom, at the base, that tells us that we need to be down to 120, but again, we have to stop before that, so we will be doing that. I think we're fine. I was a little worried when we started, but we may actually be well ahead of the pace, but maybe not. Because we're still moving along a bit here. But yeah, if I'm not careful, we're not going to end up on the platform. So we are actually fine. And now, there's the H, so we want to basically be stopped before the H. It's just an indicator. I think in theory we could go a little faster, but why? Or a little farther. So we've got one more close stop. And then we'll be continuing after that. Because then we have the 11-minute run, which is going to be another pretty good break, or a pretty good stretch, I should say. But yeah, we weren't terribly early here, so thinking it's going to keep us moving pretty quickly. It is. So the question is, once again, from an achievement standpoint, you know, how difficult did they make this? But at this point, it's telling us 120. I didn't see any other indications. The problem is with all these switches, that may be where I'm missing things. So there's a 12, which is the speed. Alright, that's parked on the siding there. So again, another one will definitely be at 120 before we hit that location. But we've got a little... Alright, why is that telling me 6? So I'm a little concerned here. So at the next signal, I think it's telling me that I need to be at 60. Is what it's telling me. So even though this says 130, I don't think that's accurate. I think at the next signal, it's going to take us down to 60. But I guess we're going to find out, because I do need to move along a bit. But I'll be at 60, and if I'm behind a bit, I'm behind a bit. But I think that's what that yellow 6 was at that point, is how I would read that. So we're going to know in a bit of time here, and either I read it wrong and I misunderstood it, or no, I guess I misunderstood it. Alright. So I'm not sure, maybe that was a switch track, or if we were switching tracks, maybe that's why it's sitting on the ground, because that's a symbol that I didn't see. So there's the 14. We're obviously going to be fine for that. I mean, at this point, we're just like 13 seconds behind, so we're not in any massive danger. 12 seconds, so, you know, maybe we'll... And there's the 100 indicator that we need to be down to. So yeah, we'll just kind of leave it on this speed because we're fine. And then we'll slow down further if we need to. So I'll come in a little quicker with the hope of maybe being able to get a little better time than we were hoping for. Alright, so now we're at full service. This is a very small platform, but I think I'll be okay. But yeah, we're already over at this point. So we might lose a little bit of time here, but I think we'll be alright. So very close to the H. Alright. 15 seconds should be enough where I don't think it's going to give us a problem. But I was just being careful to avoid a speeding penalty, and obviously I did not have that problem, so that definitely cost us those 10 or 15 seconds. So shame on me for getting confused with the signaling if I don't get the full 72, but I did, so... Alright, so almost 16 kilometers to Frankfurt am Main Flughafen, which I believe is the airport, and if I recall, was underground. So this part of the route, I do remember, like that garage on the side, like this is the part of the route we had been running before. It's just I think we were running the other way, because obviously we were crossing that bridge where we would have had that issue before. So again, trying to keep an eye on the signage to make sure that we're good. But at this point, we're about just 14 seconds ahead, so no time to spare. Advanced signal. What have we got? It wasn't really an advanced signal, so I'm confused. Did I miss something? I don't think so, but in any event, though, yeah, this is where we were going 160 the other way. This was kind of that, so this will be the last point, I think, unless the line goes further than I expect, but this will be the last point that we'll be able to go this fast. So let me just slow down the power, be a bit careful. So I'm just wondering if at this speed it's just a challenge to accelerate, because I'm still at 55 and I'm having that same issue where it's moving along but not obviously gaining, which is fine. I'm not looking to gain. But I'm surprised I have to have the power that high, but maybe at these speeds, yes, you're not going to coast that way, so you do need to be under actual power. Still a long way above 10 kilometers till we're getting to our next stop. Another track going off that way. Advanced signal. Okay, I see it there, but it's all green, all good. So maybe at the bridge we'll be at 10. Not really the second bridge, but close enough. Alright, still at 158. So yeah, the problem then so far, I'm pretty sure, is just understanding that German signaling was my problem in the first scenario, because it does appear to indicate things appropriately. We just didn't know how to notice some of the early signals that don't appear on the HUD. So if we have something in this direction, we obviously still need to keep an eye out for that, because the only signals on the HUD are also the main signals, which is one there. But these advanced signals, as you can see, are not indicated on the HUD. So they're not there, and they tell us things that we need to be aware of. Alright, good news is we're getting to about a minute ahead of time. Obviously, again, given how the line works, they're going to make us wait, but alright, so now at the next light we need to be down to 6. so I'm at full service, but we need to be down to 60 in 0.66. So there was a triangle with a 6 on it, and that's the part that we missed before. Alright, so I think we're going to be okay, but I was getting a little bit worried because it was quite a bit. But, alright. So I'm going to let this work the way it needs to, and that's probably because of the, we're probably switching track here, so. Alright. Make me a liar. It told me I needed to be at 60. I don't understand. Well, I'm not going to take the chance. I'm going to get to at least the next light under 60 in case. Maybe it was a 1.6 and I didn't read it right. Alright, well in this case we can be up to 80, so we'll get moving again. I was all proud of myself that I had done the right thing, but I don't know. We're not losing time, so I think somewhere we had done the right thing, but yeah, see, now we're speeding, so we're losing all kinds of time there, or all kinds of points, so that's not good. And that one was on the map, I just got all messed up. Okay. Wait a minute. Now that I don't understand. It took me to 120. So there are a couple flaws in the line there, I would say. Or I truly missed it. I'll again look back at my video and see what I see. You know, because I want to learn, certainly, so I'll end up rewatching that back. But yeah, basically we lost the 72. So yeah, now we're in danger of not ending up with quite as wonderful of a thing as one would like, but I was all proud of myself. Whoop. I am just, again, I do this all the time. I then just get sloppy. Alright, so once again, now it says 80. And unless I don't understand that, it has an 8. So at this signal, now we're getting a drive quality problem? Really? I guess we are going downhill, but see, there's an 8. So the understanding is when it's telling us that at the next signal, we'll be down to 8. Yeah, we are. Okay. So that worked as I would have expected. And now we've lost 100, so I don't think I can get a gold star on this scenario. I think I'm below 900 now. But as expected, you know, we knew we'd be down in below grade here. But we've got to stop, and this is coming in again from the opposite direction, so just letting myself get onto the platform fully. Okay, full service. So the next one would be emergency braking, so obviously we don't want to do that. Alright, so we're about 40 seconds early. So that was a bit of a sloppy section for sure. So we lost about 100 points, if not more there. So at this point, I think we're down to just a handful. Yep, 2 stops. So we're going to have 7 seconds, 5 minutes, and then basically 5 minutes. So we're about 10 minutes, 11 minutes away from the end once we get going. So light at the end of the tunnel as we sit in the tunnel. But yeah, so basically 15 minutes, because it's going to have us wait at the station until then to conclude the scenario. But yeah, so I'm still pretty sure the signaling is probably functioning as expected. It's just easy to miss those triangles because they're illuminated or they're not. The thing that I was unaware of is I thought it had to show a yellow for it to be illuminated, but I distinctly recall one of those advanced signals was green. So so we do have to keep an eye on it, and that may be what I did that caught me the one time where I didn't realize what was happening or what I was seeing. Alright, so the question is, will the train be past the point? Now again, we see the 9, which is giving us the 90. So we might, even though we can go 110, we might choose not to. Although we'll get closer to 90, certainly. But, whoops. Don't want to go too fast, because, again, that's where I had a bit of my problem. So there's the 9. Main signal, green. We're not, well, we are accelerating slightly, so let me go to 0. Alright, now I can go back to 4%. But we've got about 6 kilometers to go. Frankfurt Niederrad. I do not recall this platform, so I think this is a stop we didn't stop at the other way. I think we're going to be okay. We're going to be up at 110 probably once we're out of... No, we'll be up before we're out of the station. So we'll go ahead. We're about 45 seconds ahead on things. I'm not looking anywhere but at the bottom again, so this is how I'm going to likely cause myself an issue. So I need to pay attention to the signage or the signaling. I think we're climbing, so I'm going to put some more gas on. I'm going to be careful, though, because I don't want to be too fast, but... Alright, so yeah, we're going up. Looks like we'll be climbing for a bit. I want to keep an eye on our signaling again. It's kind of mid-morning here. Alright, it's going to move us over. What? I missed something again, obviously. So there probably was a sign telling me moving over was going to be 100. Okay, we're going to be 90, so I'm going to keep myself there. So yeah, we may be in jeopardy if it's 850 of even making that. But we'll see. So yeah, I want to get close to 90. Because obviously then we'll be closer to where we should be. Alright, that train is moving. Alright, everything's good on the line there. Because we're still, you know, 2.5 kilometers away, so I want to keep going. So yeah, it's possible like we had stopped at this platform, but now we're not. So that's the point, is there's definitely things going on. Alright, and this should be... Let me try to be at 4 and see if that keeps us moving. So now we are at 90. And we stay at that until we stop at this platform. If I go to 10%, yeah, we'll speed up a bit, but I think I'll be okay. Because, yeah, I'm already within a kilometer, so I'm going to have to start reversing our progress as far as speed gain. Whoops. It's not my brake. I'm hitting the wrong thing. Maybe that works that way too. I don't know, but I would think you'd get like negative wheel spin. Alright, and that 6 is again just telling us about the 60 that's coming up. So I'm going to let this cruise in a little quicker. Alright, at full service. Alright, so one more stop. Ooh, those lights are like blinking green. That I don't know what that is. No indication that I had seen. Maybe they went from a warning to green, so it's kind of a, like, yeah, you're kind of safe, but we're not sure yet. I would think then eventually it goes solid, but I'm not sure. Alright. So if it's 850, we'll get it. If it's higher than that, we won't, because we're not going to hit 900, nor are we certainly going to hit 950. Again, keeping in mind we have to be down to 60 unless we see some other signage too. So, and if it hits us with something else, I'm going to be surprised because I'm frankly not seeing it. So if I do this, is that, yeah, it does actually, so it's almost like an engine brake. Might want to try that at some point when I'm doing these runs in the future. Alright, so there we go, down to 60, which is what we are expecting. Can I go to 4, or will that speed me up? And it speeds me up a bit, so I just gotta be careful. So we've got 3 kilometers. And right now we are still a bit early. Again, with all the track changes, I'm just trying to keep an eye on the signage. So, just a slight increase in speed. Okay, looks like we're going downhill. So that does work, which is a good thing. Alright, so 25 slows us down. 15 lets us speed up, so we just have to be careful. Although now we're getting close to grade, and then it will probably likely stop speeding up. Alright, so now we're flat. Then we do have to be down to 40 and a little over a kilometer. as we're heading into what looks like a major city, so Frankfurt, I'm assuming. Hence it says Frankfurt. Aren't I funny? Alright, so we'll get a little bit of power. So there's that blinking yellow. Okay, and now it says 4. So we're going to have to be down to 40 before the next signal. Alright, so that should take us down. Just want to get myself low enough, but again, not quite there. So I think we're flat. So at this point, when we hit the signal, and then you can see there's a 3, so they see it went to 40 before we hit the speed, and then basically it's going to take us down to 30 at some point. So I better just get myself down there, just so we're not surprised. But somewhere it's telling me 30, so, although it's saying 40. Because yeah, at this point I run the risk of being behind. I hope I'm not going to regret this. But I'm going to speed up a bit because, yeah, we're really close to, I mean, we're only 12 seconds, but I'll kind of let it coast in a little faster. And there we go, now we're speeding. So maybe that was at the platform. But I need to get myself in there. Alright. So that should get me there, and I should be good. And I'm going to be really, really close to having 850. So 14 seconds, it should be fine. But obviously we're going to find out. Alright, so the 30 was accurate, it just kind of didn't happen until we hit the platform. So, so I could have kept going until then. So just learning a little bit of these nuances. That wasn't in the signaling, but, you know, at least it makes a little more sense to me, and I've certainly done better than I did in the first scenario where I had no idea what was happening. The one that I didn't even show because it was so bad. Alright, good driving. You made it the whole way along the route. Well, if it's 850, we made it by 1 point. That is scary. Well, it was 800. But yeah, I think we just got silver in that case. But, you know, one more stop, not having a couple of those other things. Because clearly here, I think, was where we had some problems. No, maybe it was, I don't know. We had a few problems here and there. But all looks good that way. If I go back to career, let's just see, did we get a silver star? But still stars, so, and for a long run like that, not going to complain. So definitely was nice. So hope you enjoyed it. Certainly the longest scenario I've done here, and I will see you next time.